Hello everyone. We are back with the second episode of Vartalap. Vartalap is an initiative by the entrepreneurship cell of XLRI, in which we have series of conversation with founders and co-founders of startups from various B school across India. This series will take you on a journey which explores the stories of the young Indian entrepreneur, their highs, lows, their failures and successes. Today, we have with us Mr. Pranav Aggarwal. Pranav is a 2019 BCom graduate from Shriram College of Commerce, SRCC Delhi. Currently, he is a first-year MBA candidate at IIM Bangalore. Post-graduating from SRCC, Pranav co-founded Flip Consulting. Welcome, Pranav.
Hi Ayush, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. We'll jump on to the question. Pranav, can you explain our viewers about Flip Consulting?
Flip Consulting is a student-run organization aiming to create a direct, tangible economic impact by providing professional pro bono consulting services to both profit and non-profit organizations. For this, we hired students mainly from Delhi regions. That's where it started. So majority of the students came from Delhi University, and few students came from IIT Delhi, DTU, few from law background, few from IIMs. So we hired a diverse set of individuals for the same. Our broad mission was to create a platform or a community for the consulting fanatics to provide them a real hands-on experience in the world of consulting and advisory. So that's the shortest explanation I can give about Flip Consulting.
So Pranav, how and when did you come up with this idea? I mean, what inspired you to start a pro bono consulting firm?
See, when I was in college, I did a lot of internships in various fields, and I've explored fields like marketing, business development, equity research, financial due diligence, and so did my co-founders. So I have two more co-founders with me, and we always thought of starting something on our own, because after a point we thought that we have had experience in diverse fields, and now we can start something. We can freelance or something. And we didn't have this in mind, like we have to start a company or some sort. But as we gained more experience, we just saw that there was a gap there in the market for free pro bono consulting services, and there was a huge demand supply issue. So there were a lot of students. I don't know if you know this, but today's generation, they're crazy about consulting, and many students are just ready to jump on to any chance they get. And they're even ready to do it for free to just get some real worth experience for this. So what we started to do was we started to get all of these people together. We talked to many individuals. We visited many colleges, and we started recruiting people. And we just started to spread the word about our company that we are starting this community, and if you want to be a part of it. And slowly and steadily, it started growing. I remember initially we were around 3 to 4 people when we started, and just before joining IIM Bangalore, we were a strength of around 50 students. So that's the journey that we took. And one thing that I realized in the journey was that I'm not saying that I'm the best consultant in India. So that's not the meaning of entrepreneurship. So obviously you require a lot of extensive knowledge, and that's what we gained in our college experience by doing a lot of internships and gaining wide experience. But I think the one thing that we all shared, all the 3 founders shared, was the passion for entrepreneurship and starting something on our own. And it's very easy to get flown in the rat race or the herd mentality that is prevalent in the top schools or top B schools that we currently see. So I think that's what the shackle that we wanted to break. And that was a little initiative that we started, and it grew pretty well according to us.
So it was like you had interest in consulting, and you had like an interest of starting something of your own.
Yeah.
And you had people who were also interested in doing consulting for free. So now, what were the most challenging aspects when you were working in the startup? Was it the collaboration? Was it bringing people on board, finding clients? Or, even when you said that you had people from IIT Delhi, having some mentors there to actually guide you on, how to proceed with it. You like consulting, but doing it and, helping people out. How did it actually work? What were the major challenges that you faced?
So I think the initial challenge that all the entrepreneurs or the startup founders face is forming the initial team. I think the initial team that you form is the pillar of your business, and that has to be spot on. So finding the right kind of people who share the right kind of thinking and the right side of mindset that you share. It's very important to find that kind of people around you, and then again, finding the right kind of people who are there, who are going to support you in your journey. Because as I said, it's a pro bono consulting firm. It's a pro bono consulting firm, and consulting in itself requires a lot of hard work, and you have to be on your toes. It requires a lot of commitment on your part. So finding that kind of people who are going to support you and not going to ask anything in return, so that was a challenging aspect. Also, like it's very difficult for all startups, I think, to realize the point when you have to move from a pro bono to a paid service. So like after a point of time, you have to start thinking of making it bread and butter for your life. So you can't be pro bono for your entire life. So you have to find that right transition point for you to make that switch to a paid service. So I think that was challenging, and we are still to crack that. And I think COVID had a lot of role to play in that scenario. I think these are the challenges. Other challenges that we saw was that initially when we started to reach out to us customers, so the initial rejection phase was bizarre. It was a nightmare. And just getting up every day with knowing that you're going to get rejected 10 times by the potential customers, that was very difficult. And I still remember the joy that we got our first customer on board. And getting the initial customers on board, forming the initial team, I think that is the most challenging part. Slowly and steadily start falling into places, but the first 2 or 3 months, I think that is a critical point for any startup.
So, Pranav, you're telling me that you were doing a pro bono consulting, and even then it was difficult to find clients.
Okay, so consulting in itself, it requires a lot of expertise. All right. So, for example, if a company comes to me and gives me a task to, for example, I remember we got a project where there was a textile company which wanted to turn around in business and wanted to have a digital transformation. So even though it's pro bono, but I was still handling crores of assets, and there was a lot at stake. So even if we are doing it for free, we do have a commitment to our customers. So I think even in this field, even if you are doing it for free, you have to get it right. And customers are not ready to do it, and customers are not just ready to just say yes to you just because you are doing it for free. They don't mind.
So I think
that was the challenging part.
The portfolio of clients that you have with you, it kind of builds upon it. Once you have one client, you have two clients, then you build upon that two clients to get the third client, and so on and so forth. Okay. So
exactly. So just adding to that point, because it was a pro bono, we didn't focus more on revenue. We focused on an aspect called net promoter score. Okay. So it's basically a likelihood of how much the customers are likely to recommend you to their friends or peers. So this is what initially we took as a benchmark for the growth of a company, and I think that is something I'll recommend to all the other people as well, especially in the initial phase of your business.
Right. So Pranav, everything was working fine. You had clients, and so what compelled you to join a B school then? Why not continue with this startup?
As I said, as we were going through this journey, we came across a lot of projects that we couldn't take because we felt that there was a knowledge gap on our part. And I come from a commerce background, and many times I felt that, in the field of analytics or, as I said, digital transformation, I felt that there was a knowledge gap on my part and I needed to explore more. So I think that's when I thought that, entering into a B school will be the best place for me to explore all the opportunities that I want to take. Also, I think the life of a B school student is very challenging, and it really prepares you for life. I think the hectic schedule that you follow, the lack of sleep that you get all day. You have to run through assignments and internals and externals. So I think such a life experience really prepares you for anything that might come upon in the future. So that's the reason.
So, Pranav, while you had joined IIM Bangalore, what happened to the startup once you decided to join IIM Bangalore? Is it still running, or the other two co-founders are running the startup?
I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately. So I joined IIM Bangalore, and my other two co-founders joined IIM Ahmedabad.
All right.
So all of the three co-founders who were running the firm, they all got busy at the same time. So currently it's slightly inactive, but we're still looking for people who can run it because currently we are not able to give as much time as possible. We do take on projects still, but as I said, we don't want to compromise on the quality that we are providing to our customers. Yeah, so we're still looking out for people.
Okay. So, Pranav, what do you think you would be doing, if you're not doing an MBA currently?
First of all, I'll be sleeping. Okay, this is one thing that I really miss. I don't get to sleep a lot now, so that is one thing. I'll love to sleep sometime, at least 6 hours a day. And I love to just carry on with the work that I was doing. I think that was people need to find that passion, and I think I found it when I started this firm. And even if I was working around 14 to 15 hours a day, it didn't feel like work. It felt like I was enjoying every single bit of it. So I love to go back to that world if possible.
So, Pranav, it's been around 4-5 months into an MBA, and so do you feel that this is general perception that people have? You want to run a business, you should do an MBA, and because you will learn a certain skill set there. So, do you think that it's compulsory to do an MBA, or people can manage without it? And what are some skill things you think that an MBA adds to you?
It's not necessary to do an MBA, I'd say. But it does provide you with a base knowledge to start from. Like doing an MBA does provide you with a financial setup. Like when you can work for 2-3 years, have a good seed funding to start your own firm. So that's one thing. Also, in MBA, you'll find a lot of people who'll be like-minded and who'll be willing to join you. So I think the networking aspect of MBA is very important. So you don't just network with your batchmates or your section mates. You also have a vast network of all the alumni that have passed out from your school. So that is one thing. So I think that's it.
Yeah, there's the shared experiences that the alumni had with the college, and the same experiences that you go through is when you connect with them. There's an instant bonding, and they're always looking out to help someone from the same college, and they're always up to it. So yeah, I think that that networking it does help.
Yes.
So this is my last question. So who is your inspiration from the startup ecosystem, and why?
Not exactly like the startup ecosystem, but I really admire Sir Richard Branson, because I think he's the real. I think if I can explain entrepreneur, I think he's the best role model to follow for everyone. I remember seeing one interview where he said that under my Virgin group there are around 200 diverse companies, but I still don't know the difference between net profit and gross profit.
Okay. It's essentially managing people.
Yeah, exactly. As an entrepreneur, I still remember one day I had an internal in college. I was really worried about because I hadn't studied it, and my father came to me and he saw me worried and he asked me, why are you worried, and just leave it. I was like, Papa, this is important. I have to study it. And he told me, Pranav, what's the subject about? And I told him it's about something GST or something. And I told him, you don't have to, just learn the basics, learn the foundation of it, and hire a person who's an expert in GST to do it for you. So that's the explanation of an entrepreneur. You don't have to do it everything yourself. You just have to find even the persons who are better than you, do it for you.
Right.
And there are other aspects of him as well, like people forget to enjoy life. They make their business their life. Everything revolves around money, revenue, and numbers. I think that he's one person whose Insta page, if anytime you stumble upon, you'll find crazy experiences. Like he's trekking in some Himalayas
Adventure
or something.
sports, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing, and how he treats people, customers, and his employees. I think that's fabulous. And they are the people who are working for you, so there should be certain level of gratitude that should come from you. I think he does that really well.
All right. Thank you, Pranav. It was great talking to you. Thank you.